Welcome to the Agile Shop, where we talk shop about hands-on Agile solutions. In this video, we will talk about a day in the life of a Scrum Master. We should mention that a day in the life of a Scrum Master can vary depending on the type of organization and also the timing of the sprint lifecycle. In this video, we will provide you with an overview of the day in the life of a Scrum Master in the middle of the sprint. We will also assume the Scrum Master is working remotely. With that in mind, we will try to provide a general idea of what to expect. By the end of this video, we will also provide you with the information on how to access a free Scrum Master introduction class that gives you the information needed to better prepare for the Scrum Master Certification. Our Scrum Master day will start around 8 a.m. The Scrum Master will start the morning by thinking about the overall goal of the day and the things that need to be done for that day and writes them down. After those things have been captured, the Scrum Master will start the morning by checking their emails and Slack and spend some time replying to them. Based on the messages reviewed, they might add to their list of to-dos for that day. It's also beneficial to take this time to prioritize the to-do list. This should take around 30 minutes. This being a mid-sprint day, the Scrum Master would next prepare to facilitate the daily Scrum, also known as stand-up. The Scrum Master will prepare for a daily Scrum by reviewing their stand-up board and the team dashboard metrics, looking for any stories that might be stuck and require additional discussion with the team. Assuming the Scrum team is using a digital board like Jira, the Scrum Master will take a quick look at the Jira board, team comments, and Jira dashboard metric, looking for any patterns, delays, or red flags that stand out, in case the Scrum Master needs to have additional discussion with the team at the end of the stand-up, also called the parking lot. This activity could take around 15 to 30 minutes. Next, the Scrum Master will start facilitating the stand-up. There are multiple ways of facilitating a stand-up. This is just one of many hands-on examples. Since we are in a remote environment, the entire team joins a virtual meeting on Zoom. The Scrum Master will share their screen and bring up the Jira dashboard metric page first. The Scrum Master will provide a quick 30-second overview of the team sprint status by looking at some live sprint metrics. If you want to learn more about these Jira live metrics and how to create a Jira dashboard, subscribe to our channel so you don't miss those videos. The purpose of this overview is to always keep the team updated with the status and health of their sprint. The Scrum Master will bring up the active Jira sprint board to show the user stories for each team member, while each person provides a quick update on what they are working on and if they have any blockers or issues. The Scrum Master will take the lead on resolving any team blockers or issues and make it a high priority for those to be resolved as soon as possible. At the end of the stand-up, the team discusses any other questions or issues that came up during the stand-up. This is called the parking lot of the stand-up. Team aims to finish the entire stand-up session in 15 minutes. Some teams take up to 30 minutes. At the end of the stand-up, the Scrum Master might have some to-dos based on blockers or challenges brought up by the team. The Scrum Master will spend some time starting conversation on resolving those blockers. Those might be with management, other teams, or vendors. They will send out emails, Slack messages, maybe even schedule some meetings. This could take around 30 minutes. Next, the Scrum Master will check the status of the product backlog and user stories for the upcoming sprint. They will start a conversation with the product owner regarding any new requests the product owner received from stakeholders. The outcome of this discussion will result with the Scrum Master scheduling a session with the entire Scrum team to refine the new user stories created by the product owner that requires refinement with the team so they are better prepared for the sprint planning. This conversation with the product owner and review of the backlog and scheduling the meeting could take around 30 minutes to an hour. At 11 o'clock, the Scrum Master is meeting with one of the team members because they notice this team member doesn't update their user stories in Jira. Also, most of the time, the user stories for this person are stuck in progress for a much longer time compared to everyone else. The Scrum Master meets with this team member to better understand the challenges this team member is facing and how the Scrum Master can help. This session took 30 minutes. Next, the Scrum Master dedicates 30 minutes to catch up on any other emails and Slack messages before taking lunch. 12 p.m. hits and the Scrum Master goes to lunch for 1 hour. After lunch, the Scrum Master will join a Scrum session with all the other Scrum Masters. This session is a time-box session in which each Scrum Master shares a high-level update on their respective team's work and articulates their progress and impediments. In this session, dependencies are discussed as well. Some teams are dependent on each other, and in this session, the Scrum Masters align on updates or current dependencies, or bring up any new dependencies discovered by their team during the active sprint. This is also an opportunity for the Scrum Masters to bring up any blockers encountered by their own team that can be resolved by the other teams or Scrum Masters in this session. This is a weekly 30-minute session. The Scrum Masters meet with their respective manager for a one-on-one session. This session's agenda differs from each organization and management style. This session might be a career focus for the Scrum Master or an opportunity for the Scrum Master and the manager to seek on team challenges and progress of the work. This is a weekly 30-minute session. Next, the Scrum Master meets with the entire Scrum team to resolve a problem that was identified in the last sprint retrospective. The team realized they don't have a documented definition of done, which is why last sprint there was some confusion and different expectations between the product owner and the development team when a user story should be complete. The Scrum Master facilitates the team conversation and documents the definition of done for the team based on the product owner and the development team conversation. This session took 1 hour. At 3 p.m., the Scrum Master is notified by the development team that a stakeholder reached out to them directly for a new request. The Scrum Master gets involved and runs interference between the stakeholder and the development team. The Scrum Master redirects the stakeholder to the product owner for the new requirement to be captured as a user story and prioritized in the backlog. Since we want to provide a real hands-on example of a day in the life of a Scrum Master, we will acknowledge that 1 hour random meeting that shows up on the Scrum Master calendar scheduled by other stakeholders or management with a broad general agenda. The Scrum Master joins this meeting to find out that other Scrum Masters and product owners were included as well, and they all find out some stakeholders are discussing a new product they want to start building soon. However, halfway through this meeting, the Scrum Master realizes this new product does not impact their own team, but since they committed for half the meeting already, the Scrum Master hangs out on the call until the end just to find out the details of the product, out of curiosity. There is one last activity the Scrum Master does by the end of the day, but before we review that, we would like to remind you of the free Scrum Master Introduction class that also gives you the information to better prepare for the Scrum Master Certification. You can find this link in the description of this video below. Before the end of the day, the Scrum Master checks emails and Slack messages one more time and takes some time to respond. The Scrum Master also reviews and updates the to-do checklist they had from the beginning of the day and notes down any new items that need to be done for the next day so the Scrum Master doesn't forget about them. With that, we end this video of a day in the life of a Scrum Master in the middle of the sprint. Please subscribe for more hands-on Agile videos.